A book or movie is often promoted as being a true story, based on a true story, or inspired by a true story. The movie industry has defined the differences between each of these variations. As you will see, just because it states true story somewhere in the advertisement or endorsement, it doesn't necessarily mean that all the facts in the story are true. Oftentimes, there is a big difference. Unfortunately, this practice has infiltrated many Bibles and churches and exposed the liberties taken in this portrayal of the Christmas story. In this Laodicean age, now you can pick your favorite rendition of the Christmas story, just like you pick any book or movie. Let's examine the differences. Inspired by a true story requires the adaptation of a story in spinning a new tale. The gist, however, may be the same. This term is also used when stories are partially copied and duplicated from a real incident. Dramatization and manipulation of facts is seen heavily. This photograph was taken several years ago of a nativity scene that was displayed in front of a church. While inspired by the true story, the confusion and delusion resulting from combining biblical facts with fictional fairy tales is obvious. Is the Holy Family the gift? Was Santa Claus there at Jesus' birth? Was he like one of the wise men who supposedly brought gifts to the newborn babe? Or is he the actual gift giver, taking on qualities of God himself? Based on a true story refers to the recreation of a story with changes to the storyline to suit the audience's understanding and expectations. It's often done to entertain the audience and dramatize certain events. Moderate modification of facts is seen, and these aren't absolutely authentic, but the basic storyline can be verified with an actual story. This picture portrays the traditional nativity scene with shepherds gathered around the manger and the three wise men bringing gifts to the newborn Jesus. Again, while it is definitely based on the true story, it has been chronologically modified. The shepherds and wise men were not there together at Jesus' birth. A simple comparison of Leviticus 12 verses 1 through 8 with Luke chapter 2 verses 21 through 24 will quickly dissolve this long-held misbelief. If the wise men had been there at Jesus' birth, Mary would have had the resources, the gold that is, to purchase a lamb for the sacrifice after her required 40 days of purification. Instead, she offered the alternative, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. Further proof can be substantiated by the fact that King Herod killed all the children 2 years old and under trying to destroy the King of the Jews. Therefore, after speaking to Herod, the wise men finally arrived sometime between 40 days and 2 years after Jesus' birth, to find Jesus was not a babe in a manger, but was a young child in a house. Just read through Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. A true story is the reenactment of an actual event, usually using the same names for the characters, and the scene is recreated accordingly. There is no dramatization whatsoever, and the story is well researched before being compiled. Facts and figures of a true story can be validated. They often mention the source, the author himself undergoing or undergone the event. The Holy Bible reveals the true events of the Christmas story, if interpreted properly. It reveals the supernatural earthly arrival of God manifest in the flesh as Jesus Christ, which was anticipated by the prophets, announced by the angels, accomplished by God, addressed by the shepherds, and acknowledged by men who authored this true story into the scriptures for us to celebrate today. You see, the miracle of the incarnation of Jesus Christ through a virgin's womb does not have to be enhanced or dramatized. It just has to be believed. When you decide to pick your Christmas story, is your choice based on truth or tradition? On historical facts or fictional fables? Choose wisely. Let's stick with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.